Okay, I am back. And let's go to switch over back scene. There we go. Alright, so let us continue with the main quest then.
Mordsuk. Not just full of Mord, but Humes, and all manner of others, too. It has long been a refuge for folk displaced by the flood, so the population is nothing if not diverse. Oh, have you met a Mord before? They might look like shifty little blighters, but a more welcoming lot you could never wish to meet.
Okay, so that is the name for the kobolds, I believe. Mord.
Speaking of which, we should pay our respects to Mastergan General. I'll go ahead and let him know we've arrived.
Okay. So, Master Jinjin is over this way. Let's also just quickly that. Alphino quest, since I don't think we need that one open right now. Over in the log, since it's not really important right now. That's a kobold. What beady eyes. This is a Mord. That's a kobold.
Master Genjen,
this is the friend of the Exarch I was telling you about.
Did not expect that to be voice acted. Okay.
Very good, very good. Though friend or no, all are welcome in Mordsuk.
Souk is Mordish for city. As things stand, this souk boasts the largest and busiest marketplace in all Armorang. You'll find ore from the mines here, of course, but all manner of other things too. Many of them rare. As I told you before, not many visit Armorang by choice, but Mordsouk's a different story. Merchants come from miles around to purchase the relics the Mord dig up.
Aye, that they do. For Mord do not dismiss the spoils of the earth. We clean them and polish them and reveal to the world their true value. That is why they come here, come from far away, come with much money. And so our souk is always busy, busy, busy. No such thing as a thing no one needs.
You say that every time, Master Gengen. Some sort of family motto, wasn't it? Or perhaps a Mord philosophy, for which we should all be very grateful. Would that everyone was so willing to take in refugees regardless of race or creed. Now then, if you intend to spend any time here, you'll want to gain the trust of the locals. And there's a little custom all newcomers are expected to observe.
The cracking of the coin purse. You buy one thing from the market. Price can be low or high, just as long as you buy.
As the good Mord says. In fact, the Exarch sent a little something to cover this very expense. A Verbert gold piece, no less. The first I've held in years.
Verbert gold? Real Verbert gold?
Jesus. What the fuck?
Here, newcomer, crack your coin purse with me.
Oh no, you want my goods, newcomer. I have jars and pots all smooth and shiny.
Over here!
Come and look.
You buy, you buy.
Jesus.
Enough of that! Calm, I say! This one must still journey through the barrens. Nothing bulky, nothing heavy, no pots! Nothing better for the road than a full belly. Spend that piece at Ronron's place, yes? Eat for 3 before you leave.
Guess it's worth a lot. Those points. We'll run and browse the available wares. Okay.
Welcome to Ronron's, traveler. I have wares to empty your purse and fill your belly. Take your time. Stare and sniff before you choose. But no drooling on the merchandise, yes. Browse Ronron's wares. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target a foodstuff and inspect it with.
Okay.
Oh, you'll like those. Chewy skewers. Find small frogs hiding under rocks, spear with stick, then roast over fire. Crackly on the outside, gooey on the inside, perfect for snacking. That's my ever-burning bounty, made with the best parts of the lizard. Cured with special spicy spices. Some find the smell challenging, but it'll warm you up on chilly desert nights. Everyone's favorite. Plump white worm slathered in honey. Once you eat a glazed wriggler, you'll never want any other treat. I call that mush loaf. The middle is stuffed with bittersweet cactus fruits, so even if the bread dries out, it's still moist inside. Keeps you going in the heat. They all look tasty, yes. Which to choose, which to choose.
Turn off auto events. Let's see. Thinking wash loaf.
Ah, very wise. You won't wither on the sands with a gut full of cactus fruit filling. You have the gold. And done. One Vobertite honor buys you 40 loaves of bread.
Very last mouthful. I think I'll share the rest. Eat a lot. But let's share.
Our visitor invites us to feast. Let us give thanks for her great generosity and small appetite. Consider your coin purse cracked. I am pleased to accept your custom, and Gunjen will be pleased that you honored ours. Keeping the merchandise down, yes. No returns.
Thanks again, guys.
I was watching from here, Shauna. You honored our custom, and with great relish. You will always be welcome in Mordsuk. If you need anything in Amharine, we are here to provide. Gahahaha. You have courage, my friend. Ronron's wares are more exotic than harmful, but I don't envy you the bellyache you'll have on the morrow. Right. Now that you've eaten, I expect you're eager to get back on the road. Would you mind if we delayed our departure a touch? I have a few deals left to close before I can conclude my business here in Mordsuk. Oh. Offering your services, are you? Well, an assistant would certainly help hurry things along. I have a receipt here for some goods that need picking up from the market. All properly paid for, you just need to do the lifting and carrying.
Okay.
I'll go and take care of some last-minute haggling, then. See you in a bit. You may view the market receipt at any time during this quest by using the relevant item in the key items menu.
Okay. So the market's the receipt to collect purchases.
Table cactus, Thon iron ore, Thol. Naboth Arang antiques, Mil, to be collected from Mulmul.
Okay. Guess I need to like find the characters based on their names and ask for the right item. Maybe? Nuts?
Hey, no touching. That merchandise is spoken for. You couldn't possibly change my mind with a better offer. What? Cassard sent you? Why didn't you say so? I wouldn't dream of selling his goods to a higher bidder. Oh no. Naboth Arang relics, wasn't it? All packed in that box there. Handle with care.
Okay.
Lift with your
Let's
legs,
talk first.
and not with your back.
You're gonna route me as well, or...
You came in with Cassard, yes. Good. I can finally stop thinking about that sack. Please, take your prickly purchase.
And it's the last one. Ah, there. That one is the ore.
Cassard sent you, did he? Right. Yes. What kind of ore was it, again?
Iron?
Iron ore, of course. That would explain this box I have here. It's all yours.
Nice. So back over to Kazar. Who is seemingly told someone?
Don't tell me you've been round the entire market already. That's the lot, alright. Good work. And quick work, too, considering you've not set foot in the place before. I thought you want to sit in the city like the Exarch, but something tells me you're not a stranger to visiting strange lands. Unfortunately, your efficiency presents something of a problem. I'd hoped to conclude all my business before you returned, but it seems there's been some confusion over one of the orders I placed. I'll have to drag in my middleman and sort this mess out. I'm sorry to make you sit around and twiddle your thumbs. Cassard. It feels like an age since I last saw you. Well, if it isn't the lovely Tesleen. It has been a while, but your timing couldn't be better. This lady was on her way to meet with Elisa. I'm supposed to be taking her to your corner of the desert, but a misplaced order has commandeered my attention.
Wait, I know who you are.
Do you?
Alisai has told me so much about you. You're Shauna, aren't you?
So that's where you know me from.
I knew it. How wonderful to meet you in the flesh after hearing all those stories. I'm Tesleen. I work as a carer at the inn, and I've gotten to know Alisai quite well since she took up guard duties there. Do you want me to take over as Shauna's guide, Cassard? My shopping's all done and packed for the road, so it would be no trouble.
That would be a great help, thank you. Well, it looks like you'll be able to head straight out after all. My caravan and I will be in the area for a while yet. Seek me out when you've had your fill of Amharine, and I'll send you back to the Crystarium.
Desert Crossing.
Alisai has been desperate to see you, Shauna, so let's get you to her sooner rather than later. The inn isn't too hard to find, really. You can actually see the top of the rock spires from here.
Come along, Darmal.
We just need to swing around the ridge, then head south. Come on, I'll get my supplies together and meet you outside.
Okay. We have a blue quest up here. Work to live or live to work. Is either current? Might as well accept it and just start doing it.
Greetings, friend. You like helping people, yes. Maybe you can help me, too. You see, my son Gungun makes me very proud, but very worried. He works very hard, too hard for his own good. He follows orders, yes. Follows them until someone tells him to stop. This is very dangerous, bad for his health. I need you to speak to him, persuade him to rest. He should be near the Red Sarai, probably leaving no stone unturned in his search for relics. Please, tell him his father orders him to stop.
Okay, and he's up there. I guess we can quickly go and do that one and then come back and just do the inquest afterwards. Guessing we just need to like go up there, talk to him, maybe kill some enemies, and then it's probably back after that. I feel like the music is very different with that, like, I don't know, almost sort of angelic sounding voice in the background, but it's... music just gives off a, like, almost sad sort of feeling.
Search the nooks, search the crannies, search high, search low. Oh, sorry. I did not see you there. Are you lost? Father says I must rest? That will not do, no. I will stop, but not yet. I need something to show for my efforts. All this scrabbling, all this searching and still no shinies. You came here to tell me to stop, but if I refuse, your job will not be finished, will it? That will not do, either. Wait. I have an idea. If you help me find shinies, my job will be over, your job will be over, and I can rest. Simple, yes. Look under that rubble and find whatever there is to be found. Maybe it will be valuable, maybe not. Either way, let us keep searching until we get at least one shiny.
Then we need to search every...
Your
all
search
three
fails to yield any
locations.
shinies.
Probably.
Your search failed. You find a signet ring.
Unsold years spent buried beneath sand and rubble. It's done little to tarnish this exquisitely crafted piece of jewelry.
What did you find? Not more rubble, I hope. Oh, this looks very special. Such pretty patterns. I have never seen one like this before. But how much is it worth? I am an expert in finding shinies, not a historian. Perhaps we should ask someone. Once we sell it, we will divide the profits between us. We worked as a team, so half for you, half for me. Fair is fair.
Hey, that's a slide that's gonna presumably maybe unlock something. Okay, let me just quickly try and search for that quest. Moored the Ring. Thinking that maybe it's a reference to Lord of the Rings. Okay, does it end up solving anything specific? Doesn't seem like it unlocks anything specific necessarily. Seems like there's two quest lines that I can do where basically unlock, or basically if I there's this quest line from this guy, and then there's another one from someone else, and apparently those like meet at the end or something like that. I can just teleport up there. Yeah, apparently it's just like a quest line with a bit of story, and I'm not gonna do that right now. Didn't seem to like reward anything specific. I think one of them gave like, it was although on the other questline thing, it would give me a cover with some gear or something. But it's apparently also from like a one of the questlines that give me an Aether Current.
All set? Oh, I should probably mention the wildlife. While most of them will leave you be if you keep your distance, the local coyotes have learned to prey on folk heading home from the markets. I can usually swing a sword well enough to fend them off, but I may have loaded myself down with too many bargains today. Do you think you can handle any beasts that try to make a meal of us? I thought you might. Elysai was always saying how much I mean, let's get going, shall we?
Okay. Also has some sand balls, toll bus, Suga, which I think is an A-ring, but perhaps.
Sorry, there wasn't much time to shout a warning. Were you bitten? Those things can be nasty. And yet hardly a match for you, it seems. I'd always thought Elysai was strong, but in her mind, she was never, Now it makes sense. Ahem, well we should push on. It might be best if you scout ahead and clear out any coyotes that have our scent. I'll wait here so you can fight without any distractions.
Okay. So that's... Okay, back to Sleep.
Oh, thank goodness you're back. I could hear the howling and snarling from here. Frightful creatures. Let's hope the rest have seen your handiwork, and know to avoid us now. I need to get these supplies back to the inn.
And then it's just straight down to the it seems. So we'll explore a bit of this. There's something up there that I haven't explored yet, which is the pitch. But that can probably wait. Then there's the Murrow Keep. And the inn at Journey's End. Say that structure up there, like, I believe it's the flood basically being stopped. Looks pretty intense. We'll also just quickly wait this one.
We have
Unmarked rather.
This is it. Thanks to you, I didn't have to drop my shopping even once. Come to think of it, I'm glad I didn't make the trip alone. It seems you ended up escorting me. I'll have to repay the favor somehow, but first, let's head inside, shall we? Welcome to the inn at Journey's Head. You might be our first visitor from the Crystarium since Elysai arrived. It's not much, but it's home for the afflicted and a handful of carers.
This illness isn't contagious, is it? Afflicted? What are the afflicted?
You don't know? I don't think I've met anyone besides Elisai who was so unfamiliar with our situation here. Most folk have grown up knowing someone who knew someone. I might leave out something obvious, so it may be best to have Elisai give you the full explanation.
And I got it's a little 80. Nice. And I got trait enhanced Mesui, which increases the potency of Baba Chakra to 500 while under the effect of Mesui. Nice. So let's say, what is that? 150 potency boost. Bad. Following in her footsteps.
Now, where is she? I think she might be out on patrol. You could wait, I suppose, but why not go and surprise her? She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first, so you might be able to catch her there. It's not far, head out the south side and you'll soon see it. I'll stay behind, in case she comes back while you're gone.
Okay. Actually add some of this new food that I've gotten to here. I might as well just eat some of it, might as well get that little bit of extra XP. If I can get any at least.
Elisai is nowhere to be seen, but you spot fresh footprints on the ground, and they look to be about the right size.
Even need to mount up.
The small footprints lead off to the northwest. The footprints continue on to the northwest.
There's any of these nearby? Oh, straight to the south. Ah, there. It's quite literally a wall that's just like turned something over there seemingly completely white. Like broken the walls here. Like sucked up some of that stuff there. Kind of reminds me to an extent of like the crystals you see around Orsia. Like the giant like crystals that like just protrude from the ground. But these are more like, they're kind of different in that, I don't know, look like a wave basically crashing in. Again, this is kind of what they're supposed to be.
The footprints curve around to the west. There are more tracks here, but they end in a mess of disturbed sand.
Get back here!
Let's say.
Is that... It can't be.
Don't get distracted. And is that a new outfit? Almost lost that one. Impressive. Let's go with impressive.
Just a lesser sin eater. Nothing to write home about.
Do that as well.
I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner. How are you? We've fought them to a standstill, then. The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then. I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Urianger were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least. When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning, and even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision. He may use 10 words where one would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims. Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the Flood. 100 years ago, the balance in the First tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations. Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the Flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether, and triggering the birth of new monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct, that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason. Which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them. The infirmary is full of the Sin Eaters' victims. left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
That's what the are inflicted with the Sin Eater thing.
It's just a matter of time, more for some, less for others. Those patients will all become monsters in the end. And to add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society, and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it has served me well as a training ground. Tesleen and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge of the Sin Eaters. Which is knowledge I can now share with you, while you help me finish my patrol, of course. Here's what we'll do, I'll take the east side of the inn, and you clear the west. That way you can have an undiluted experience with the resident terrors. These marks on your map are where the usual trouble spots are. You can assume that any beast with a white hide or carapace is a Sin Eater, but you'll know for sure soon enough when they come slavering after your ether. Remember, it's kill or be killed with these monsters. Once you've slain whatever's prowling around out there, we can rendezvous back at the north entrance. Good hunting.
Okay. Oh, 3 Sin Eaters. 3 different locations. I'm still curious about something. Do I have do just grab one of these. Might as well use one of those so I can get some more XP from killing things, although now that I think about it, I don't actually get any XP from these things. I forgot about that. So apparently that one didn't have any... Oh, it's only some of the places that have Sin Eaters. Okay, return to Palisade. While I'm at it, maybe a quick trip over here so I can get this area unlocked. It's covered, I guess. So, might as well. Southwest 500 something noms. Yeah, that's in this area somewhere.
How did you fare? Ah, I thought there might be 1 or 2 lurking on the fringes. Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you noticed it yourself, but individually, these lesser Sin Eaters are no more deadly than any natural predator you might encounter in the desert. It's when they appear in numbers that they pose a threat. Much like the Void Scent, they have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus when a powerful Sin Eater goes on the hunt, it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or hamlet. That's the basic idea behind my patrols, to cull their ranks often enough that their numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out to play. And you've certainly helped on that front. Let's report our victories to Tesleen, shall we?
Okay.
Alisai tells me you helped out on her patrol. You have our thanks, and my apologies for leading you from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. In any case, I'm glad to see the two of you found each other. You have no idea how badly Alisai has missed your company. Everything is always, if Shauna were here, she would. That's an exaggeration. And I don't sound like that, either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective, and I respect Shauna's methods. Ah ha ha ha. Honestly, after seeing her in action, I can understand why. The way she leaps into the fray without hesitation, it really is something to behold. I might be a little smitten myself. Heh. I'm only teasing. Though I've no doubt she deserves all the admiration she gets. Just as you do.
Okay, I don't know if it's actually the case, but I feel like I haven't seen any Lalafell, like, NPCs around since we entered, like, Shadowbringers. Or at least they're in Morvend.
I'd love to lay out a welcome meal, but the duties I put off when I went to the market are still waiting for me. Arg. There are 101 things that need doing. I'm sorry, but would you mind waiting here with Alisai? What? And twiddle our thumbs while you work yourself to death. Surely there's something we can help you with? I could do with a hand, it's true. Thank you. You can start by helping me sort out the larder, Alisai. While we do that, could you tend to a few patients, perhaps? There are 3 in particular I meant to visit. It's just a matter of saying a few words to them, and seeing that their skin isn't caked in sand. Their names are Ponil, Todden, and Halric. They may not give much in the way of a response, but I promise they'll be pleased to meet someone new.
These thing down here.
Thank you. Todden glances up at you blankly, but you notice the tension in his face ease slightly. Halric remains utterly still as you wipe the sand from his cheek. The texture of his skin has hardened into something akin to plaster.
Be surprised if he is maybe close to turning into a sin eater.
You've seen to the patients? How were they? Good. That's good. I knew they would enjoy meeting you. I am concerned about Halric, though. I'll have to speak with the other carers, but I think his time may be near. We shall leave you to have that discussion, then. I was going to take Shauna to Mordsuk if you have any errands there that need doing. Well, I suppose there is one thing. Would you pick up a nectarine from the markets, please? Cassard's caravan just passed through, so Ron should have some fresh fruit. Come, then, Shauna, there's something I want you to see. Right after we stop at Ron's stall, of course.
Okay. Just teleport up there, I guess. Kind of looks like there might be a path there that I can take.
Oh ho, back again, are you? You need another taste of Ron's wares?
Actually, we're looking to buy a nectarine. Do you have any in stock?
Oh, yes. Nectarines, peaches, grapes. Fresh and juicy. Given how richly you cracked your coin purse with me, I might still owe you food. Here, take this one. Free of charge.
Gods, I've never seen a Mord merchant give away something for nothing before. How much coin did you spend here? Oh yes, I'll take a jar of honeyed worms as well. Oh no. They're not for me. It's an offering of sorts. Ahem, the worms, if you please.
Only the best wrigglers for you. Come again, my friends.
Right, that's our shopping chores taken care of. Let's head up past the Etherite to the main tower. The view I want to show you can only be seen from its very top.
Okay. One sweet smelling nectarine.
Here are your precious worms. That buys us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not?
Glazed wrigglers. You actually brought them. I really shouldn't let you, but just this once, alright? Only once.
Never fails. Shall we?
And looks like it might be a voice cutscene.
Look, over there, where the wall is broken. Do you see what lies beyond? That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance. That nectarine you bought, it's Halric's favorite fruit. Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light. The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals. I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed? Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons. But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
When you think about it, or rather, I just thought about like the calamity that basically happened like 5 years ago in Eorzea is nothing compared to what has happened here. This is essentially like kind of like if an apocalypse essentially happened, but only like a certain amount of area just wasn't really hit by it, but it's still affected heavily by it. It also was just like, oh yeah, there's some damage, there's some weird like aether like crystal spires, but it was nowhere as bad as this. Holy shit, and this is like 100 years after or something like that. Like, Jesus. Shit is so bad here.
I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding the catastrophe which befell the first, one glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than an hour of Urianger's lecturing. And I needed you to know beyond a doubt that Tesleen has no other choice. The nectarine will be a kindness. It isn't just the threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. The carers are truly fond of their wards, and would spare them that suffering. It is their way of fighting back against a fate worse than death. You're back. I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find a nectarine? Thank you. Alysi's explained why I wanted this, has she? I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others, and we've decided to keep an eye on Halric for now. Thanks to you, though, if his time does come suddenly, we'll be ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days.
Time left to us.
Well, nothing is going to happen for a little while yet, so let's see if we can't lighten the mood. We don't want our gloomy faces worrying the patients. I think it's time for that welcome meal, don't you? Take a seat, and I'll make us a nice stew.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs.
Couldn't have done bunch of the trouble on the bowl then? Sure.
That's what I like to hear. Give me a moment to warm up the pot. In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get. I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs. I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel from arms to stay here. Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one. It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrent could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
They're coming.
Desleen! Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
He is turning, zooming. This can't be good.
Shauna, Elisai, we have to go look for Halric. I don't know what's gotten into him, but if he's wandering out there alone, we'll assign search areas and split up. Any idea where he might be headed? No, he's never done anything like this before. But it can't be a coincidence that the other patients are suddenly so agitated. They can sense something. In any case, let's keep the search close to the inn. Halric isn't very sure on his feet, so he won't have gone far. I'll search the east side. Please, Halric. Please be all right. I'll cover the north and west, then. You take everything from here to the south.
Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if he's either turned or is about to turn, and apparently patients said something like they're coming, so I'm assuming that there's probably some Sin Eaters on the way, perhaps some powerful ones, which is why they might have been able to sense them.
You see no sign of Halric. Maybe he went further west.
One more location, possibly further to the west.
You scan your surroundings in search of Halric, and suddenly find yourself under attack.
What? Sin Eater. Do we find them here? Like it?
Any sign of him? No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will.
Assuming that's a stronger one.
Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it!
That guy's
There it
about to
is!
turn something and Sin Eater wins one.
Is that... Oh no! Ulrich!
We have to run!
Oh shit.
Tesseline! No!
She gonna turn into a Sin Eater as well?
We all deserve happiness, wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in pain. Mother, I...
Jesus. And she seems to be vomiting up some sort of like white liquid. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the f- Okay. What? What the actual fuck? Oh.
No, 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 no!
Jesus Christ, that's a fucking horrific. Jesus Christ.
Forgive me, Alice.
She was still conscious during that. Fucking hell. Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck? Well, that's not something I was expecting to see there. Fucking hell. That transformation was fucking terrifying.
I'm sorry, Shauna. I tried to tell the carers what happened, but I can't be the shoulder they lean on. Not like this.
Holy shit.
It's just so unfair. Tesleen was always so cheery with the patients, telling them not to be scared, that there wouldn't be any pain. Of all the people in the world to suffer such a fate.
I guess that's an easy way to like show the players that, hey, yeah, this is a fucking horrific fate.
I imagine you're just as shocked as the rest of us, so I appreciate what you're doing here. Me. I can barely. I don't have the words. Without a body, we can't even give her a proper burial. And she cared about that sort of thing, about giving people the chance to say their goodbyes.
I need to speak with Ulrich.
Ulrich is as unresponsive as ever. He stands motionless, staring up into the sky where the Sin Eaters made their escape.
Spoken with the cares. Say with that one.
Thank you. What you're doing, it means a lot to them. To me.
Sorry to interrupt. We realized we hadn't thanked you for rescuing Ulrich. You weren't hurt at all, were you?
Hurt? There wasn't even a fight. I was too late.